Good morning, good afternoon to everybody. How's everybody doing? Shobhit, thanks for joining us again. How are you?
Wonderful, Anders. Thank you so much. Great to see you and talk to everybody
You
again.
you as well, yeah. You are actually our first repeat offender on the series. You're the first person we've had back, and I remember very distinctly after your last session saying, "Hey, we got to get more of this because this is good." So, and
Wonderful.
and you're back, so
Yeah.
appreciate you coming back.
Thank you for the opportunity, Anders.
Absolutely. Looks like we got a lot of folks in the room right now. People are still kind of trickling in. So I'm going to kind of go ahead and talk about what we're doing today, some of the sessions that are coming up, and a little bit about what's going on here on sort of a grander scale. Um, so right now, um, we've got. Can you see my screen? This is bizarre. Okay,
Yeah,
there we
I
go.
can see.
That just gave me a no screen option. I'm sorry about that. So today we've got what's new with VMware Foundation, or VMware Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA, and Shobit's back, and we've got Jake once again working the QA. So if you've got any questions, be sure to bring those questions in. We'll field them. And in fact, we're going to have a little time at the end for Q&A at the end. And then coming up here. We're going to be doing this again, similar conversation, but with Justin Murray this time, and that's actually going to be on our LinkedIn Live series hosted by Pete Fletcher. So for those of you who want to get another double click on VMware Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA, going to be a demo and an overview on that. So another technical deep dive there. Then we're back here, June 12th, Empowering Healthcare, Unveiling the Potential of Private AI Solutions, Practical Applications for Private AI within the healthcare industry. Matthew Davis is going to be here for that. And then that brings us to June 19th already, halfway through the year, if you can believe it. VMware Cloud Foundation for Public Cloud. And Jeremiah Maggie is coming in for that. And I don't know if any of you know Jeremiah, but absolutely fantastic speaker. Bring your questions for that one because that's gonna be a good one. And there's a link to all of our upcoming webinars in the chat. So if you want to bookmark that, just so you can see what's coming up and plan accordingly, please share out to anybody who might find this useful. We'll get that rolling on. And then also, as always, we've got Explore coming up. Explore Las Vegas coming up August 26th through 29th. Explore Barcelona, November 4th through 7th. You can learn more by scanning there, or you can go to vmware.com /explore. Right now, registration is open, so get your tickets. There's a little early bird special going on, so I hear. Content catalog is going to be opening up on June 12th, so you'll be able to see what a lot of the programming is. Super good deep dive technical sessions this year. So every year at Explore, the feedback from the audience is we want more technical, want more technical. We're going to be doing a lot of technical 200 and even some technical 300 this year. So be ready for that. And as always, we're going to have the hands-on labs, guided and self-paced sessions, lots of demo pods this year. So be ready for that. But yeah, definitely get out there, get registered, get your tickets. Looking good here. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my share. And I think we're going to move on here. So Shobit, we'll get the baton passed over to you, and I think we can rock and roll.
Fantastic. Thank you. Let me just shift over to my this thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. Let me know when you can see it. Okay. I
Looking
can
good.
see it here as well.
Perfect. Yeah, looks great.
Fantastic. Thank you, Anders. So, what we're going to talk about here is what's new with VMware Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA. I came here, I want to say like a couple of months back or so, March, if I remember correctly, May 25th, 26th timeframe, give you a technical overview of VMware Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA. And that time it was initially available. Now we're going to come in and give you give you what's new in the platform, and then finally, we'll do a refresher on some of the product capabilities. Some of that stuff will be similar to what I shared last time, but I did want to come back and kind of present that again, so the teams have a chance to, folks who missed it can look at it again. If you did attend last time, there'll probably still be a few things for you there as well. So that's that. So with that, let's kick it on. Anders, can we do like one quick poll?
Absolutely. Let's get this going on here. All right. So have you already deployed a generative AI solution? And no wrong answers here. We just want to see how everybody's doing. We'll let that run for about 30 seconds or so. And as the internet articles say, the answer may surprise you. All righty. Give you about 10 more seconds. All righty. Wrap this up here. So looks like yes, we're rocking about 14%. No, the front runner with 59%. Not yet, but planning to for this year, 18%. And not sure is running about 9%. So I think the sort of the spoiler for me is the not yet, but planning to this year. That's a super short term gap for doing that. So
Yeah, certainly. Good, interesting. Always kind of see this question how it gets answered. If I remember correctly, the answer I think was like 9% or so last time. It sounds like it's crept up a little bit and then going faster now as we go. So yeah, very interesting to see that. So let's jump in. Uh, you know, VMware has been in the AI space for the last 5 or 6 years or so, much before the famous ChatGPT came on board. We've had a platform with NVIDIA before, even like 3, 4, 5 years back or so. So really, we have a lot of experience with this, right? And so very quickly after we jumped on board with VMware Private AI last year, we pulled our internet customers as well, who we already have a lot of deployments with, and we came up with some very interesting things that customers were telling us about generative AI and the challenges, right? Is AI, enterprises are extremely excited about AI, but there's a lot of challenges that they're concerned with, right? Privacy being the most important one. From a privacy standpoint, customers are concerned about employees putting in information into open models and that information getting sucked in now into the training models that the open models may have, right? Like so, and then there's also customer risks as well, right? What if somebody puts in customer information into an open model, and then that can be used for training the next best answer, because that's the nature of AI. AI wants to use data to improve answers for the next time. So that's a very important one. So privacy is a customer's number one concern. Very closely related is choice and cost. This is a bleeding edge space. Customers want to have the choice of the vendors and the partners that they want to play with, right, or work with for the AI space. Because if you get stuck with one vendor or get into a vendor lock-in situation, then what happens is potentially you may get a cost spiral, right? So that's very closely related challenges that they're concerned about, and the potential here is pretty high considering this is a very bleeding edge space. On the right hand side top, compliance. AI, for generative AI models to work well, you need to be able to give it a lot of data, right? So that's why answers can be your answers can be solid, or improved or good answers. But when you give a generative AI model a lot of data, very easily compliance concerns get popped in. Very similarly, from an AI standpoint, um, there's a lot of training involved, right, to get good answers. And that's where performance becomes an interesting one, um, because you need a lot of infrastructure support. You need a lot of GPUs, which is why NVIDIA has become the big one in town, and that's why customers are extremely concerned about performance as well. So when you look at all of these different challenges, this is why we came up with VMware Private AI, like I mentioned last time. And now VMware Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA, that is based on solving all of those challenges, right? Yeah. When I talked to this audience last time in March, we had the platform, VMware Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA, was initially available, select number of customers. Now it's generally available. Um, there's a lot of not a lot of restrictions anymore. Anybody can apply, and then at that point we can have a conversation with you, and my partner Jake will kind of help you with the engagement process soon enough here as well. That's VMware Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA, which is now generally available. Um, the base of this platform is VMware Cloud Foundation, which gives the infrastructural layer for your GenAI model and for your entire infrastructure. So, and VMware Private AI Foundation, VMware Cloud Foundation is a very scalable GenAI model. Very scalable platform on top of which you can go, really scale your entire infrastructure really well. A lot of like seeing a lot of the image moving a little, uh, because of the background. So that's what I was trying to test if there's a better way for me to kind of sit so that goes away. VCF is the infrastructural layer on which VMware Cloud Private AI Foundation NVIDIA is built on. NVIDIA AI Enterprise is the software that NVIDIA provides, which gives customers all the ability, to build Gen AI models and all of these cool capabilities that we list on the top. On top of VCF or VMware Cloud Foundation, we have this blue layer, which is what we call the VMware Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA uh, add-on on top of VCF. So it's a separate SKU. So there's a total of 3 SKUs to buy here for this platform to function well. And this gives you a lot of a lot of capabilities to do deployments faster, quicker, etc. And we'll go through all of this in detail here shortly. Then finally on top is the green layer, which is the NVIDIA layer, which gives you all the ability to spin up GenAI models and gives you some very special capabilities to now take these foundation models and fine tune or use RAG as you deem fit. That is the overall platform. It's a joint GenAI platform. We've engineered this with NVIDIA for years. The coolest thing about this platform or one of the many cool things out of this platform is NVIDIA NIM, which was announced by Jensen at NVIDIA GTC in March. We have support for that NVIDIA NIMs on this platform, right? So it was really cool to have that announcement made by Jensen and for us to actually have NVIDIA NIM show up on our infrastructure architecture right from the get-go at the same time. So NVIDIA NIM is going to be a key to a lot of things that NVIDIA is going to be doing going forward. So again, like I said, we'll talk about each one of these in a little bit more detail. So general availability of this platform is what's new now. And Jake will give you some engagement process as well. But really, at this point, come in and apply. We're ready for open and ready for business. In the capabilities that I spoke to you about, and again, like I said, there'll be a refresher I'll share here shortly from a product standpoint. We're now adding Power CLI script support, which can really make a strong impact in deployment time reduction. Customers tell us that it requires them time, right? A lot of time sometimes to build up a lot of the infrastructural processes for them to now start deploying GenAI models. And these Power CLI scripts are, really automate a lot of those deployment steps. There's 4 scripts, as you can see on the right-hand side: VCF workload domain deployment, ESXi host configuration, deployment of NSX edge cluster, supervisor cluster, deep learning image content library configuration. This basically takes you very, very close to now starting to deploy GenAI models and takes out a lot of the infrastructural time frame that you need to be able to deploy VMware Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA. Again, this is open. It's provided as an open source model. It's available on GitHub as well as on our internal sites as well. All of this information is on a general availability blog. The link to that blog is at the very end of this PowerPoint presentation, so you'll be able to access that over there as well. So really excited about the scripting capability. Improved GPU monitoring with monitoring capability, GPU usage. So GPU usage was available in a little more difficult way, so to speak, earlier. But now what we've we're providing is the ability monitor GPU compute, memory usage, and temperature across your hosts and clusters. So if you look at the very bottom, where it says compute, memory, and temperature, the GPU metrics, that's where temperature was actually what we had. We did not have it at initial availability. We had compute and memory is what we had mentioned to the teams 2 months back or so when I presented. By general availability, through popular demand and from asks from our customers, we have actually very quickly went in and added temperature monitoring capabilities as well. And this is GPU monitoring is very important, right? GPU, as you know, is an expensive commodity, difficult to get by commodity at this point. Everybody wants GPUs. And because GPUs are expensive, they're hard to come by. It's very important to optimize and maximize the usage as much as you can of GPUs. And so that's this big capability that with GPU monitoring comes to our customers, right? The ability to monitor your compute. If you're finding, for example, there's high amounts of compute usage, uh, and by this, to be clarified, this is GPU compute, right? So GPUs have compute memory, just like regular processors. So if you're seeing a lot of very high usage, for example, on your GPU, then at that point you go in and see what's going on. Why is that GPU getting GPU usage getting spiked up a little? Similarly, if you have a lot of memory usage, because you want to make sure all of that remains at an optimum level, and that's where so you're actually maximizing your GPU's performance at all times. Similarly, temperature. And temperature is very important because if the temperature is not optimum, you can actually have a full crash of your Gen AI models. Right? So all of these things are really important. Well, all customers that we've talked to so far have been extremely excited about these capabilities. Give you overview dashboard. This is going to be very interesting, particularly for larger enterprises who usually have a medium to big, GPU kind of estate, so to speak. Now we have this central, dashboard on which you can monitor temperature, memory usage across all of your GPU estate. If you look at each one of these, right, each one of these is specific compute, specific hosts on which you can look at what's happening at a GPU level across each of those hosts. So it becomes very easy to monitor what's going on at for your entire GPU usage just by looking at this dashboard. So a lot of customers that we've talked to, right, in our initial discussions over the course of last month or so, while got very close to the launch, have been very very excited to see that, right? Otherwise, you have to go at a host by host level to see what's going on for your GPUs, but now you get this dashboard in which you can look at your entire estate. So that's the massive kind of what's new, so to speak, for our private AI foundation with NVIDIA platform. You have additional capabilities and you have general availability, right? So that's the couple of things I wanted to just give you a brief overview first. And while I give you a refresher, you'll find those same slides that I just shared come up at different points. I just left them in there so you have a logical understanding of what we're kind of doing, right? So from here on, it's a refresher of what I'd shared earlier from a product capability standpoint. So what is the key value that's provided by VMware Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA? Most importantly, privacy and security. We provide private and secure Gen AI models on your on-premises or your colo space as relevant. So customers can be very, very comfortable with the fact that on your on-premises your data is protected and it's not just basically getting leaked over because guess what, it all exists on premises, right? And it's private and it's secure and it's for you. Now within that, the customers will get the ability to choose an LLM and then fine tune it and customize it with their domain specific data, or if they choose to, they can do RAG on it as well. So fine-tuned RAG, customized RAG. I'm just using this as like an overarching term here, but really the platform provides all three. And then you deploy that LLM for your inferencing. Right? So that's the most important key value. So before we move on, this would actually be a great place for our question number 2. Anders, if you don't mind, for the poll.
Yep, we'll get that right up here.
Wonderful.
So this one is, are you planning on fine-tuning for inferencing in the public cloud? And we'll leave this up for about 30 seconds. Alrighty, only about 27% voted, folks. Let's hop in and get some answers. Give you about 10 more seconds. And we're just about done here. Oh, wow. Okay.
Very
So here,
nice.
yeah. So a couple of surprises there too.
Yes, this is very interesting for sure. And, it kind of helps at this point to understand, that from a privacy and security standpoint, right? Yeah, our solution actually is really, really, really great, right? So thank you for that, Anders.
Hmm.
Um, and then for the folks that are not sure, right, as we go through this presentation, hopefully you'll be able to come get to that point. If not, definitely contact us and talk to us. Now let's go in and look at what VMware Private AI, what VCF actually gives benefit to customers, right? Is the fact that VCF provides the ability to really spin up your, apps very, very quickly because of the fact that you get compute, network, storage, security, monitoring, etc., all inbuilt as part of the platform. Otherwise, guess what? You have to go do each one of these compute network, all of this stuff. You have to do this, one by one by one. Versus now with VCF, you can get a packaged bundle deal bundle experience in which you can very quickly go deploy, your entire infrastructure really quickly. That's the core value of VCF. An infrastructure platform built for your private cloud, able to connect with public clouds as well if you want, but it gives you the valid ability to scale very quickly. There you go. Now, one question I've been asked before, which kind of led me to kind of build this one, right? Oh, sorry, is what is the benefit of VCF as a platform for GenAI workloads? GenAI at the end of the day is really a complex, fast workload, right? It has the same demands as what complex workloads have. You need to be able to scale it very effectively. You need to be able to monitor it. You need to be able to plan costs and operations, etc. And then finally be able to build dashboards so you can monitor stuff really, really very easily, and then be able to troubleshoot as needed, right? At the end of the day, it's a workload. It's a complex, massive workload, right? So that's where VCF does such a tremendous job because it's built for scale. It's built for the ability to go from, uh, you know, uh, 0 to 60 miles. 60, I guess, the bad example potentially, but really the ability to go from small to big, right? And then be able to monitor and get all of those needs satisfied as you go. So VCF is fantastically built for GenAI. Now, similarly, NVIDIA Enterprise is the production grade software for AI, right? It is the leading software today for having a full infrastructure of your, not infrastructure, the full softwares that you need already inbuilt into your, are already built in NVIDIA Enterprise. And guess what? It's secure, right? And it's stable, and it is um, cloud native and can be certified to run everywhere. So combined with all of those capabilities, with the fact that VCF and NVIDIA Enterprise have are the most important piece of software here, you get the ability to have a private and secure model, and you have software that are built in to be able to go do all of those things that you need, both from infrastructure as well as spinning up of software really easily. Right? So NVIDIA Enterprise is the leading edge, leading software for AI today. And this is why we're so excited about this platform, right? Because VMware Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA unlocks Gen AI and unleashes productivity for enterprises. You get the ability to have these private, secured, and secure and compliant models, GenAI models. It enables the ability to spin up your GenAI deployments and optimize costs, right? Because you have NVIDIA Enterprise and you have VCF. Both of these pieces of software are built for complex workloads, and especially NVIDIA Enterprise is built for Gen AI. So you have um, capabilities that are also inbuilt inside the VCF Private AI Foundation add-on SKU, which helps you really spin up Gen AI models really well. Um, and then finally, accelerating of performance regardless of selected LLMs. This platforms gives you the ability to spin up Gen AI models, and then has the ability for you to be able to switch to different LLMs if that's what you choose to do, because we're all about choice and we enable the path that you want to go for Gen AI. That's what VMware and NVIDIA are all about. We're not about telling you to go choose one LLM. We want to give you the choice to choose um, LLMs as your needs change or evolve. Now let's look at each one of these things in a little bit more detail. Enable privacy, security, and compliance of your Gen AI models. Um, that's the most important promise we have. We are a privacy first model. We give customers the ability to have private and secure Gen AI models, like I was talking about right in the beginning. VCF has inbuilt security capabilities, the secure boot, etc. All these capabilities that are on the slide. Similarly, NVIDIA has enterprise-grade security built inside NVIDIA Enterprise. There's thousands of pieces of softwares and platforms and hierarchy that is actually dependent while you're building Gen AI models. And NVIDIA Enterprise does a great job of kind of keeping your environment secure, as well as ability to continuously monitor and be able to get these releases pushed out, so your models remain always very secure. Finally, VCF enables all the modern identity and access management for infrastructures. Integrations like Identity Manager, Okta, Microsoft Entra ID, etc. All of those are supported. So it's security at the base layer for both VCF as well as NVIDIA Enterprise. We enable all of those capabilities, and that's why the security is so important here. So it's a very interesting slide that NVIDIA actually shared. This is not a constellation diagram. This, if you look at the very top, this is PyTorch. And PyTorch has all of these different capabilities. Like, I think the number I remember hearing is 586 different objects at the end of the day are related back to PyTorch. So if you have a software vulnerability, it actually populates automatically across 586 pieces of software. So if you think about the risk involved, that's why NVIDIA Enterprise is so really well built for security, because guess what? NVIDIA does a regular job of releasing patches and fixes for security holes, etc. So you automatically get the ability to get your patches, etc. populated across your entire software stack. So this is very interesting kind of thing that I learned when I was building this entire story. Now, simplify Gen AI deployments and optimize cost. VMware Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA add-on on top of VCF, SKU number 2. NVIDIA Enterprise is the third SKU, so there's 3 total SKUs here. The VMware Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA add-on has specific capabilities that are built in, so using which you can very quickly deploy Gen AI models from an infrastructure standpoint, because infrastructure requires a lot of different things that you need to be able to spin up your Gen AI models on top of it. NVIDIA RAG. This is basically all the software algorithms, etc., for you to be able to do retrieval augmented generation on top of your infrastructure on your Gen AI models. And NVIDIA's RAG technology is already built inside our platform. Look at the right-hand side. Vector databases for RAG workflows. For enabling RAG, you still need a database on which you're supplying all the information. You're constantly loading new documents, etc. And that's these vector databases that are built using PG Vector on PostgreSQL. And really, it's just it gives you all the capabilities to spin up your RAG capability, RAG models. So very quickly you can get information faster and much more better contextual answers, right? So RAG is obviously the biggest thing nowadays, or one of the biggest things outside of fine tuning and customizing. And so this platform is enabled for it. Deep learning VM templates. This is basically pre-configured software, etc., that you need to be able to spin up deep learning, your deep learning VM templates, and that's what this capability provides. These VM templates. I will share a little bit more for each one of these in a minute. AI deployment guide. It's a step-by-step guide which gives you, the ability to look at that guide and go like, hey, what are the just different things that I need to do go spin up my Gen AI models? And this guide comes to you built inside the Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA add-on. Catalog setup wizard. This is basically the ability to do catalog level, complex projects, etc. that level two admins need to be able to spin up Gen AI models. I'll share all of this in each one of these capabilities, talk about them in a little bit more detail shortly. So we talked a little bit about RAG, right? That RAG technology is built into this platform that NVIDIA provides. Talked a little bit about the vector databases, PG Vector and PostgreSQL. That's the database technology. That's the technology that's used for these vector databases, and it just gives customers much better answers from a RAG standpoint, which is what this enables. So you can now leverage NVIDIA's RAG software, but it still needs a database. So that's what the vector databases that we enable. Rapid deployment of your deep learning projects. These are the pre-configured deep learning VM templates, like I was mentioning about. These come built in, and so different hardware, software, deep learning, frameworks, etc. for NGC libraries and drivers, etc. Those come given to you as a VM template versus having to build all of those on the from scratch, which can be a huge time consumption for admins, right? So this is something that we kind of knew from the get-go that was important, and then we got some customer feedback that's very important for customers as well. The ability to be able to spin up these VM templates very quickly. So this is these all come in inbuilt into our software, so you can easily leverage it. Quick deployment of AI infrastructure projects, objects. I talked a little bit about these earlier as well. For very complex projects, which require, a lot of different, require a lot of different softwares and frameworks, etc., that you need to be able to, leverage together. This catalog setup wizard basically gives you the ability to now design, curate, and offer these different kind of software packages inbuilt as a catalog item. So almost think about this like a marketplace, so to speak, where you spin up a catalog items that the admin generates, which the next level admins can now easily pick up, do some minor tweaks and easily deploy. Otherwise, they have to build all those different catalog objects projects, those complex projects they have to build from the scratch. So this saves a lot of times for admins. This is why customers have given us some really good feedback on all of this. Now, there's a visual of what this looks like. So admins will generate these catalog items, like AI Workstation, for example, in which there's complex projects already built inside of it, and then the next admin will actually pull up that, make some fine, small little configuration tweaks, and then go deploy those, right? So it saves a lot of time for admins. Private AI deployment guide, I've mentioned a little bit about those. If you look at the right-hand side, it'll give you a visual of what it kind of looks like inside the UI. Gives you a step-by-step capability, how to build a basic environment with links, etc., as well as to the documentation. So that's what this private AI deployment guide provides. Here is another visual of what this looks like. One of this was, if you deploy a deep learning virtual machine on a virtual cluster, here's the different steps and the different documentation links to it. And the next one is create self-service catalog items in VMware RE automation, and then so you have all of these steps easily there, and then you have the documentation links, etc. So very like easy to kind of go work from here and build your Gen AI models. I talked a little bit about initially for the Power CLI scripts as well. So hopefully this is giving you a better visual of how the deployment time reduction is a big part of our story. So we're continue to add more capabilities around this. Accelerate performance regardless of the selected LLM. We're all about choice. We want to give customers the ability to have, the ability to have best performance, the ability to be able to have integrated monitoring and flexibility, and be able to shift to different LLMs as their needs evolve. We envision a time in which there's going to be potentially hundreds of Gen AI models potentially for complex enterprises. Depending on your need, there's a potential you may want to have lots and lots of Gen AI models inside your enterprise versus just having one, right? Which is really what we expect this market to evolve to, is the ability to have multiple Gen AI models for specific needs that you can easily deploy. So accelerating performance for regardless of the selected LLM, that's a big part of our story. Now, GPU monitoring, NVIDIA NIM, choice of LLMs, each one of these is very critical. We've got specific slides. I'll talk to you about each one of these capabilities here in a minute. GPU monitoring capability, I just talked in the beginning as well. We talked about this. You get enhanced GPU visibility for GPU compute, memory usage, and temperature. Very, very exciting to a lot of customers. This is what we added at general availability about 15 days back or so. GPU usage with monitoring capability. That, like I said, this is the GPU estate monitoring capability, and for large enterprises, it's very exciting. Nemo Retriever, this is very closely tied in with RAG. It's inbuilt into the platform, gives you the ability to quickly get answers from your RAG database. So this is part of our platform as well. NIMS. We talked, like I said in the beginning, Jensen actually talked a lot about this and in GTC as well, and you're gonna see NVIDIA do a lot about this as we go. NIMS is the ability to have specific LLMs and specific softwares from NVIDIA Enterprise pre-packaged and available. So I don't know why that moved. Pre-packaged and available, so customers can quickly deploy AI models, Gen AI models as they go. At the very center, it's going to have LLMs, and then all of these different, industry standard APIs, domain-specific code, inference engines, custom models, and then NVIDIA enterprise-based containers. So it gives you the ability to have. It basically will be available as a sorry about that. I don't know why it keeps moving. Basically, it's going to be a pre-built container, and we expect this to be at an industry level, right? So for finance, there's going to be potentially hundreds of NIMs that they provide for specific use cases. NVIDIA will provide pre-built containers with all of these different capabilities built inside of it. So you can take a NIM and very quickly deploy Gen AI models. I'm sorry, I don't exactly now know why this keeps moving, but I apologize for this. So very quickly you can deploy your Gen AI models and use these pre-built containers that NVIDIA provides to now spin up Gen AI models. So very similar, if you notice, right, to our VMware Private AI add-on approach, where we are providing those 4 or 5 base capabilities for deploying Gen AI models. Very similarly here, NVIDIA is providing these NIMs to these pre-built containers to have a lot of these capabilities and software already built inside of it, so you can spin up your Gen AI models very quickly. Why choice of LLMs? All of the NVIDIA models are going to be supported. Whichever NVIDIA Enterprise supports, this platform will support. Whether it's NVIDIA Foundation models, fine-tuned models, open source models like available from Hugging Face, or third-party models like pre-trained community models, etc., or Llama 2, Llama 3, etc. Those kind of third-party models as well. Whatever NVIDIA Enterprise supports, this platform is going to support. So we're all about choice, like I said. We want to enable choice for customers, and this is why this is so interesting because we provide those capabilities to customers so they can switch to the LLM of their choice. Because every 6 months, I'm starting to hear that customers want to be able to shift to LLM models, for example, every 6 to 12 months, depending on their needs, right? So we're finding evidence of that happening today. Common customer use cases addressed. This is very, very exciting for us, right? Because code generation, contact centers, IT operations, advanced information retrieval, our number one use case that customers are very excited about today for VMware Private AI Foundation is code generation. I'm hearing 70-80% of customers who have GenAI models in their development space deployed actually are already shifted over to CodeGen as their primary code generation GenAI models for their code generation use cases. So software developers are now throwing it into their private models if their companies have already deployed them. 70-80% work gets done, and now you just configure a few things, and then very quickly you get to get code that's now ready for deployment. Massive amounts of, as you can think, redundant, work and time saving there for customers. So customers are so excited about this use case. Contact center resolution. As an ex contact center manager who managed a lot, 40, 50, 60 people at teams at one point, most of the time of contact center technicians or support, customer support people is spent in just looking for information, finding what's the problem, and then finding a solution for the customer for that specific problem. So if you think about it, there's massive capability here, massive amounts of time saving that our contact centers agents can actually save if they have GenAI models that's available to them, and there's apps available on top of it. So very important here to note, right? The platform enables GenAI models, but those GenAI models you still have to deploy apps inside of it, right? So once those apps are deployed, that's when you can start saving a lot of your time that your agents are spending in doing resolution. IT operations automation, scripting, etc. That's already being done right now. But there's a lot of customers are telling us today there's a lot of redundant tasks that admins are having to do just because they have to go in and spend a lot of time kind of looking and monitoring, etc. What if there was a generative AI application that you built on top of your models, which could do a lot of these tasks, these complex tasks automatically, and now just the admin is just responding to what the GenAI model is telling it to go to versus having to do this extra monitoring capability by themselves every day or regularly. Advanced information retrieval, that's the big, most important thing about GenAI models, right? Whether it's document search, policy and procedure search, etc. That searching for information, that's the big redundant thing that GenAI model has that potential to solve. Like, for example, we're seeing now use cases of legal. There's companies coming up that provide actually legal solutions. So you throw in your legal documentation, and the GenAI models are tailored to give you specific answers for your legal problems, right? So that, to me, to some extent, advanced information retrieval is an overarching kind of a use case across everything that GenAI enables. But it has some specific applications as well. Like I was just talking the legal case, for example. So information retrieval and the ability to dramatically improve that and reduce the time. That's the big promise that GenAI models has, and that's what this platform is going to deliver for customers. Now we come to the how to engage piece of it. So Jake, if you don't mind jumping in and just kind of taking us home from here, and just taking 30 seconds and introducing yourself as well one more time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Shobhit. Phenomenal updates. Our customers are super excited. My name is Jake Augustine. I'm the director of our advanced services within the VCF division, and we were responsible for the go-to-market execution of our solutions. So absolutely, thank you, Shobhit. I can show my screen. So how to engage? Shobhit went through a lot. There's a lot of different things that customers ask us for, but there is our alias. Click the alias, write that down. You can scan that contact form to fill out a brief Google sheet, and it will lead directly into our alias, and we will reach out to you. There's a lot of resources that we can bring to bear within VMware to help you with this. Our architect leaders, we can do demos, proof of concepts to help you understand what has VMware done on this journey. We have our AI and ML SMEs. We could talk about performance engineering, where we baseline this according to other bare metal solutions, share our internal use cases for how we're leveraging generative AI. Some of those are our best conversations because VMware learned a lot when we went through this, such as choosing different model sizes and how to effectively virtualize our systems to get the greater efficiency gains out of it, with privacy topic concern that Shobhit asked a lot about. So that is our email alias. Right there is our contact form. Please feel free to reach out with any questions. Drop us an email and just say, hey, I want to chat. We're happy to do that and walk more in detail about this solution before. So kind of as a recap before we finalize here, what our customers are really saying is this is enabling scale. So when we present to data scientists, rather, they've been deep training these models, and now those separate lines of businesses are asking for the AI workloads to deploy their use cases on top of them. So scale, using security and compliance top of mind, is the number one thing we get more and more. And simplify how this is done. Bring this into an existing framework. When we talk to leaders within organizations, no one wants a silo for their AI workloads and a completely separate and disparate silo for their non-AI workloads. Because every time you go to change that, and you will have to change it, that you will now create another silo for another line of business or another LLM. So bringing that into the contract that Shobhit alluded to is very, very top of mind. And then we just accelerate how this is delivered. So it's a phenomenal conversation. Those are the best resonating feedbacks that we have from our customers, and we're happy to walk you through that more and more as well. So these are some of the links that Shobhit was referring to, as well as the contact form, but there's our webpage that talks more about the solution. We have our AI ML webpage, is what VMware is doing broadly across our portfolio, not only with NVIDIA, which is our focus and our first project that we went GA that Shobhit alluded to, and there's the blog as well, but other solutions. So that's kind of what we're hearing. Thank you, Shobhit, for the phenomenal overview. Andres and team will turn it back over.
Cool. I think we've got one more poll here if we're ready to launch that.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's take a look. All right, in this one, do you prefer RAG instead of fine-tuning and customizing? And we'll give you about 30 seconds on that, and then we got a couple of questions in the queue we might want to get to, Shobhit, too. So as soon as we're done here, we'll hop into those if you want.
Yeah. I'm not seeing the question. If you don't mind, and like right after the poll is done, maybe you can read them out to me.
Yeah, I'll read them out. All righty, we'll give you about 30 more seconds. A lot of respondents this time. All righty, 10 seconds. Okay. So yeah, so it's looking like we're about 35% yes, about 6% no, and about 59% unsure. So a lot more yeses than I expected.
Yes.
So question-wise, right now we've got a couple going on. So sort of the biggies are, let's see, is VMware Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA available today for buying?
Absolutely. Answer is yes. We're open for business. Like Jake had said, there's a contact form link that we provided to customers. Populate their information in, and we'll be able to engage with customers there.
Okay, and then next one, similar but variation on the theme, is VMware Private AI a SKU?
VMware Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA is an add-on SKU, yes, on
Hmm.
top of VCF. And then NVIDIA AI Enterprise is the third SKU. So there's a sum total of three SKUs. But going back to question number one, the SKU is live. It's available. It is a live SKU. It's no longer a concept. It is a live SKU available for sale. So please use the contact form that Jake shared and bring it to us.
Awesome. And that's actually all I have right now. Oh, here's one. Um, do we have any NVIDIA trainings available on NVIDIA Academy for VMware by Broadcom employees?
Uh, VMware by NVIDIA VMware trainings.
Hmm.
Sorry, NVIDIA trainings are available.
Yeah,
I
do we
said
have any NVIDIA trainings available on NVIDIA Academy for VMware by Broadcom employees?
I will have to take the question back and come back there.
Hmm.
It sounds like it's an internal question. I don't know exactly what the setup is internally, but we're happy to get back.
Yeah, I know a lot of that's hot off the presses, so we'll look into that, and we'll actually get the information from the asker on that, so you can follow up.
Sure. And then there is a thank you, I think, Anders or whoever posted the link to our AI page. There is also now a new page which talks specifically about which talks specifically about this platform. So if you don't mind, if somebody can just post that over to the rest of the audience as well, that is now the page.
Mhm.
VMware. Or there's a short form for it, VMware.com/AIML-NVIDIA. So easy to remember.
Cool. Looks like we got another question here. Any plans to bring this to the service provider program so they can offer it as a service with hardware and GPUs?
We are in discussions on that, and we'll be able to share more as we in the future.
Cool. Well, we'll definitely get you back for that too. Bring you in for a round three.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Outstanding. Let's see here. Are NVIDIA A30 GPUs compatible with Private AI Foundation?
Yes, absolutely. NVIDIA GPUs are.
Cool.
Sorry, which GPUs was it? What was the specific one, Anders?
NVIDIA A30 GPU?
So today it's just from a NVIDIA support perspective, it's the L40S, the A100, and the H100.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks for that, Jake. I missed the specific. I missed that there was
Yeah,
specific GPU.
Okay. And
of course.
can you run that list one more time just so we can be sure to make notes?
Yeah, the NVIDIA L40S, the
Hmm.
A100, and the H100.
Got it. Okay. And just checking here to see if there's any other questions we missed. Not looking at it. Going once, going twice. All right, I think that's it. Uh, any parting thoughts before we move on for the day?
No, thank you so much again for calling us back on. It's really awesome to talk to this audience. I
Hmm.
posted a few links as well at the in chat, and yeah, there you go. I see y'all posting it as well. Please
Hmm.
definitely bring us on, call up, contact us, and we're happy to really engage with you. There's been really rave reviews in this platform, so we're really excited and would love to engage further with you guys.
Awesome. Yeah. And thanks again for coming back, you guys. I know we had a blast last time, and this time was no exception. It was really good to get a lot of good information out here, and we'll definitely get you back as this project evolves, because I know this is something that's moving fast, and there's a lot of sort of hot off the presses, up to date content that we want to get out as quickly as possible for sure.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Super exciting. All right, well, we'll give the audience a couple more minutes here to grab some of those links out of the chat. And then with that, hey, thank you very much for coming back again to both of you. And we'll look forward to seeing you again soon, and have a good rest of the day.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Mhm. You bet.
Bye.
Bye-bye.